GCF Factoring. Finding the GCF. GCF stands for Greatest Common Factor. How to find the GCF? Look at the coefficients first. Find the GCF of those numbers. Look at the variable next. The GCF is the lowest power of each different variable that's in each term of the expression. If there isn't a variable in one of the terms, then the GCF will be just a number. So your GCF can be just a number, just a variable, or a combination of a number and variables. Okay, let's try some examples. So, our coefficients 5 and 10. The GCF of 5 and 10 is 5. There is not a variable next to 10, so our GCF will be just 5. Okay, there isn't a number other than 1 that can divide into both 3 and 7. However, there is an A in both. And then our smallest exponent is a squared. So our GCF will be a squared. Okay, let's look at our coefficients, 17 and 51. The GCF of 17 and 51 is 17. Both of them have m's, so we pick the m with the smallest exponent, so m to the third. Okay, so let's look, 5, 3, and 30. There is not a number other than 1 that can go into 5, 3, and 30. Okay, my first term has an m, my second term has an m, but my third term does not have an m. So I cannot use m in my GCF. My first term has an n, my second term has an n, and my third term has an n. So my smallest exponent n is 1. So my GCF is n. Let's try some more examples. So let's look at our coefficients, 4, 2, and 6. The number that can go into 4, 2, and 6 is 2. All three have a's, and my smallest a is a to the third. So my GCF is 2a to the third. Okay, let's look at this one. There isn't a number that can go into 1, 6, and 9 other than 1. And not all of my terms have a variable. So there is no GCF. Okay, let's look at the next one. So let's look at our coefficients, 18, 9, and 27. 9 can go into all three of those. All three of them have an x and a y. And my smallest exponent is 1. So my GCF will be 9xy. Okay, so we have 4, 12, and 6. 4 can't go into 6, so I can't use 4. However, 2 goes into all three. So my number is going to be 2. My first term has an x, my second term has an x, and my third term has an x. My smallest exponent is x squared. Not all three terms have a y, so I cannot include y in my GCF. So my GCF would be 2x squared. Okay. Okay. GCF factoring. Find the GCF. Divide each term by the GCF and write the answer as a product with GCF parentheses quotient. 8x minus 4. So, I first need to find my GCF. My GCF is 4. So I'm going to divide both terms by 4. So 8x divided by 4 is 2x, and 4 divided by 4 is negative 1. Or negative 4 divided by 4 is negative 1. So this is my quotient. So I need to rewrite with my GCF and then my quotient. So I will have 4 parentheses 2x minus 1 for my answer. Okay, so my GCF for this one would be x. So I'm going to divide both terms by x. X squared divided by x is x. Negative 3x divided by x is negative 3. Then we need to rewrite this with my GCF in front. So it will be GCF and then our quotient. Okay. So the number that can go into both 12x squared and 36x, our GCF, is 12x. So 12x squared divided by 12x would be x, and 36x divided by 12 will be 3. And then we rewrite with our GCF out front. Okay, 8d cubed plus 4d squared plus 12d will be, our GCF will be 4d. So I'm going to divide by 4d each term. Okay, so 8d cubed divided by 4d will be 2d squared, and 4d squared divided by 4d will be d, and 12d divided by 4d will be 3. Don't forget to write your GCF out front. Let's try some more examples. Okay, 8g squared minus 16g plus 8. So my GCF will be 8. So I'm going to divide each term by 8. So I'll be left with g squared minus 2g plus 1. Do not forget to write your GCF in front of your quotient. All right, 3x to the 5th minus 6x to the 3rd plus 9x squared. So my GCF will be 3x squared. So you need to divide each term by 3x squared. So 3x to the 5th divided by 3x squared will be x to the 3rd. Negative 6x to the 3rd divided by 3x squared will be negative 2x. And 9x squared divided by 3x will be 3. Don't forget to write your GCF out front. Okay, 12x to the 5th, y to the 3rd, minus 18x to the 2nd, and y to the 2nd. So our two numbers are 12 and 18. The highest coefficient that can go into that is 6. Both terms have an x and y. And our lowest exponent is 2 for both. So our GCF will be 6x to the second y to the second. So then we have to divide both terms by 6x to the second and y to the second. So 12 divided by 6 is 2. 5, or x to the fifth, divided by x to the second. We subtract our exponents, giving me x to the third, and then y to the first. And then over here, we have 18, x to the second. So negative 18 divided by 6 will give me negative 3. And then our x and y cancel out. So we need to make sure that we do not forget to write our GCF out front. Okay, so we have 5, 4, and 10 for our coefficients. No other number other than 1 can divide into these evenly. In addition, no term has the same variables. So there is no GCF. So this polynomial is prime. We cannot factor it.